for Miami. Chris, what do you think the likelihood is?
In the words of my man, Rob Parker, no way, no how. I mean, people need to, ever since LeBron went back to Cleveland, people have gone overboard with this reunion idea. They thought Kevin Durant would consider going to Washington because he's from that area. He never even thought about going to Washington. They thought Russell Westbrook would come to the Lakers because he's from L.A. He never even considered it. He re-upped with Oklahoma City. Now they're thinking LeBron could go back to Miami because he played there. Going back to Cleveland was entirely different. He's from there. He had started his career there. He had unfinished business there. Even legacy. It impacted his legacy by leaving and then by going back and winning. Miami is no such thing. Look, that was 4 years of business. Like we said earlier, he had to get his rings. He did learn how to win there. He learned under Pat Riley, Dwyane Wade, so on and so forth. But there is no reason whatsoever for him to go back. He wants to win. Boston's a better option in the East. Philly's a better option in the East. The Heat are capped out for the next few seasons. Like, they don't even have the means to improve and help him win. His family has homes in L.A., not Miami. They sold their house in Miami. Same weather for the most part, but they choose to live in L.A. So even if it's a family situation, L.A. has the upper hand. Cleveland probably has the upper hand for that matter. So it would be beyond shocking if LeBron James even came close to going back to Miami.
And in this case, why would he rejoin Dwyane Wade, who he sent away, who couldn't help him in Cleveland, right? So how would that make any sense? I'm with you. I don't see this scenario. I know people keep throwing it out there. You know, I've had people tell me, oh, don't be surprised, which isn't really going out on a limb on anything because you're not really making a statement, right? You're just kind of throwing it out there. I don't see this at all. This does not work. LeBron James, if you got 3, 4 maybe good years left, you're trying to win a couple of more championships before. Miami's not the answer. You just said that. They have no room to do anything, to add any other players. It's right now, it's NBA Siberia with sun. Yeah. That's what it is. So why would you go there to end your career? You had a good time. You won 2 out of 4 championships. You broke up with Pat Riley. That wasn't nice. Just leave it as is and kind of move on.
I'm with both of you guys here. If you look at the roster alone, LeBron James in the Miami Heat does not work. If we're talking about him, which winning is everything right now for him, he has no chance of, honestly, possibly even getting out of the East going to Miami.
Right.
Forget Golden State. Trying to get out of the East, joining forces again with Dwyane Wade and Goran Dragic and Deion Waiters, who was hurt all of last year. Like, it's not enough pieces. And then you don't have the size to even compete with Golden State or the shooters. It makes no sense, in my opinion. But I'm with those out there that say you never know.
No, don't throw that.
No,
that doesn't mean anything because you're not saying anything.
I just did that to mess with you, Rob.
I hate that. Oh, you never know.
This begs the question then, what's in Miami? A good steak at Prime 112?
Yes.
Dwyane Wade is helping to break down some film ahead of the Eastern Conference
LeBron
Finals?
likes to go down there and hang out. Obviously, Wade's still a best friend.
I don't know if
they probably did go to Prime 112.
Go get that Kobe beef right there.
You know.
In there. But you said it. We want shooters around LeBron. They don't have that.
No. They
do have Hassan Whiteside, who could be a rim protector, but they don't have a playmaker that LeBron could play off of. Like, and Wade, if he did go back to Miami, which we know he won't, Wade wouldn't even be a factor as a player.
Like, he could only play 15 minutes, right?
Wade is essentially done, so no, there is no way. I don't even understand why he would meet with him. I guess out of kindness.
Out of respect.
Out of respect. Maybe it lifts their stature in the eyes of other free agents. But besides that, he shouldn't even waste his time.
Maybe he just wanted a little warm weather.
Why would Udonis Haslam even bring this up? I'm sure he was asked.
Well, he's optimistic. That he could get LeBron, right? LeBron was here 4 years ago.
Right. He came and had a good meal, so maybe he might resign.
Maybe LeBron was preparing himself for the Golden State Warriors, getting his mind right down in the sun.
Well, look, he came out in that game 1 and got busy.
Yes, he did.
He actually
Maybe it
got
didn't
busy
work
throughout
for him.
the whole
That's right.
All right, so Miami, X that out, not
Yes.
going there. Let's talk about the other potential options as a landing spot for LeBron.
Well, look, I think.
Well, before you even go, I'm from Detroit Pistons. Since we just throwing teams out there, and we're hopeful. We're all hopeful and optimistic
Prayerful.
over here.
Yeah.
Prayerful.
Okay, good luck with that one.
I think if I had to pick one team, it's the Lakers. Because, again, I think it brings the best combination of family, lifestyle. His family obviously is comfortable out here. They live out here in the summer.
He's got his business out here.
He's got businesses out here, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers have the ability to improve the team and win. I don't think he come by himself, but if he comes with a Paul George or a Chris Paul or any other star player, if they could trade for Kawhi Leonard, they will be a team that could win. I wouldn't put them ahead of the Warriors, but they would be a team that could win. My personal preference would be for him to go to either Philadelphia or Boston. I think he should stay in the East. I think he can get to more finals next year. And again, we talked about it's always the GOAT conversation with LeBron. Even if, I've said it in years past, if he loses this series, he's out of it. But he keeps coming back into it because he's playing so well. If he can reach 10, 11, 12 straight finals or finals overall even, and he could do that in the East, then that in and of itself is an argument if he can win a couple more of those. He doesn't even have to win all of them, but win a couple more.
Just to be there.
You win 5, you lost 7.
So
You've been to twice as much as Jordan. That becomes an argument for him in the GOAT
Here's
conversation.
why I don't believe he's going to make a transition to the West. Because I think LeBron James, for the most part, is allergic to competition. I think LeBron James loves being in the East where it has been a cakewalk for him. If he comes to the West, and he always has to stack the team, but whatever he does, and he stops going to the finals because they get knocked out in the first or second round, I don't think that's a good look for him. So I don't believe LeBron's going to come to the West to mix it up with these teams. It's more than just the Warriors who are in the way. There's more than just the Warriors.
The question is, that's the thing. I think if LeBron can keep going to the finals and win even half of the new ones he goes to, that helps him.
He ain't winning no
But is LeBron looking at it like, if I keep going and losing, I go from 3 to 6 to 3 to 7.
So he wants to come to the West and lose in the second round?
That's a question. I'm asking you as a pro athlete, ex-pro athlete, is it better for him to go to the finals but keep losing? Let's say he went to the next 3 finals and lost all of them. Or go to the West and never reach another finals again.
I go to the finals and keep losing because at least I have an opportunity to possibly
So as a
win.
competitor.
But you mentioned if he comes, he's allergic to competition, so he's going to stay in the East. Don't you think that it would be more of a stain if he stays in the East and doesn't get out of the East versus coming to the West?
I agree with that as far as the way people look at it.
He will be able to get out of the East.
Right.
If he goes to Boston or Philly.
If he stays in the East, he has a better shot. I'm saying if you come out West, you look at the Warriors as the ultimate. Remember, they weren't the number 1 seed out West. Houston was.
Right.
And their other, San Antonio, they didn't have Kawhi Leonard. They're going to be better. Boogie Cousins was hurt. Go look at the teams out West.
I agree.
Stacked.
Honestly, this Cleveland team, they would have been struggling to make the playoffs in the West. I think they would have made it, but they might have been a first round out in the West.
I just feel like the list is short, regardless of where he ends up going. But in the East, it really boils down to 1, maybe 2 teams.
Philly and Boston?
I think those 2, yeah.
And really, Boston, you're now saying you're going to really stunt the growth of what you've just created with Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and all these guys.
You think you would care about that?
Growth?
I do, absolutely, because you have a dominating player and a presence who it's been proven if LeBron gets on the court, everybody's going to defer to him right away.
But Danny Ainge, as the GM and president, they want to win a championship. And if it means that I'm going to push those guys to the side a little bit, to add
no, you
yes,
no,
yes, I would. I would do
also, first of all, I think especially Jason Tatum, but also Jaylen Brown, they have the type of games that could play off LeBron.
They could definitely
Tatum
play
can
off
catch
LeBron.
and shoot. He's a great defender. So it's not like Ben Simmons if LeBron wants to take the ball out of his hands. So that's number one. Number two, I think the days of 5-year plans are over.
Nobody gets to stick around
Danny
that
Ainge
long.
cannot sit on his laurels. They already got 3 max guys: Kyrie, or Al Horford, and Gordon Hayward. Some of these guys are going to have to break up. Tatum looks like he's going to be a max guy. Jaylen Brown may be a max guy.
They're going to have to get paid after a while.
Oklahoma City had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook a few years ago. Didn't win one title, only has one left. You can't say, oh, we're going to be great in a few years. You got to win now if you can.
I hear you, but when I look at Boston as a potential landing spot, I don't see just him fitting in as a player. When you look at Boston, they run a system. Yeah. There is a system. And LeBron, you talk about LeBron being allergic to things. He is allergic to a system that is not the LeBron James offensive system.
That's a good point.
So when I see Boston, that is the number one thing that's like, I don't see that being a great fit.
You know what? He faces that wherever he goes.
You're right,
LA,
but
Houston,
but
Philly.
everywhere else that he goes, LA, they don't have a system that has worked. They don't. Everywhere else, it's like, okay, yeah, we're willing to take on whatever you bring because you will be us. You will make us great. But Boston, he will make Boston better. He will get them over the top. Potentially, they could win it. But their system works. It's proven.
Well.